One day it's a Rolls Royce, another day it's an Aston Martin. But don't worry, I've still got a Kia Rio in the driveway there ready to drive. This is the DBS Superleggera, and yeah, $600,000, but I think it's worthwhile. Let's take a look. That's the sound getting to 80. And it's music to any car lover's ears. I'm in Sport Plus mode here, which gives you every crackle, hum, pop that you'd want from the exhaust. In GT mode, hey, it still sounds amazing, but I've been driving pretty much exclusively in Sport or Sport Plus mode for the sound alone. I know it's crazy, right? One day it's a robot lawnmower, the next day it's a kid's video camera, then it's a Rolls Royce, then it's a Kia Sorento, then it's an Aston Martin. That's what we do here at EFTM. That's why you should hit subscribe, ding the bell, and you'll see all the videos right here at EFTM. As I got in the car this morning at the office, there's a couple of blokes from the air conditioning shop next to us just staring. They were just stood at their car staring at the Aston Martin, and why wouldn't you? It is gorgeous. And here's the thing, it's a massive head turner everywhere. Now, I'm not saying it's more of a head turner than a red Ferrari, but these big hips, that gorgeous, very distinctly Aston Martin design, really just makes you want to look at it as a fan of cars. You know, the school kids at the crossing asking me to rev it, whatever it is. That's what makes this kind of ownership of a car like this something special. I don't think anyone that owns a car like this doesn't want to be seen and doesn't want to have people acknowledge their choice. For me, not a choice, just something I get to thank for a weekend. But at, $600,000, assuming you put all the optional things around it, like carbon fiber everywhere on this thing. I'm telling you, this thing just breathes carbon fiber, and that's the Leggera in Superleggera, light, super light. Leggera is Italian for light. I'm assuming that's where the name comes from. If I'm wrong, well, correct me in the comments as you would. But the thing is, this is the pinnacle of Aston Martin now. The power, the V12 power from the DB11, and I remember driving the DB11 3 years ago. That was no slouch, but they've just tinkered with the computer and upped the whole ante with it. And then you add the carbon fiber all over, even the bonnet's carbon fiber. I mean, this is lightweight. That's the whole point, is to get that Leggera so that you've got the speed. But it's a GT car, it's a cruiser, and here on the old highway, it's a beautiful cruise. It really is lovely in the corners. It's got a great stance. It's got a great feel for the driver. This wheel is awkwardly shaped but perfect. Like you look at it and go, "Whoa, what's happened here?" But it's perfectly shaped, because when you want to hold the top for some reason, you've got this beautiful carbon fiber in this option. But I don't know, it's just these straight sides give me a bit of a Formula One feel. And to be honest, that race car feel is bred into this car. So a lot of that, not just the sound and the power of the engine, but a lot of that is actually the aerodynamics. This thing's coefficient of drag is low. Its ability to create downforce is high, and that's because up the front, if you look at the aero, there's splitters, there's intakes, there's cooling. I'll get to the wheels in a minute. I want to come back to that. But then we go around the back, and the air is directed around the back, through the back window, into the boot, out the boot, behind the carbon fiber spoiler, to go up into the air to create a downforce by joining with the air that comes from underneath the car, that's split by a multiple diffuser, Formula One style, and creates massive downforce. That aerodynamic stuff is important when you take this thing at speed. Obviously, most people are probably going to be like me and just cruise around at 60 and 80 k's an hour. That's okay. That's good. You're allowed to do that. I've got to say though, it's all the little trimmings here, carbon fiber spoiler, and then there's these little vents down the side, just behind the front wheels, and they look good from the outside. And then you take your local survey where the blokes love a hot car. Shout out to my boys at the Wesley service station. They don't like it really when I bring a Kia Rio, but they don't mind an Aston Martin DBS Superleggera. But we popped the hood. Now the hood is a button somewhere here. Popped the hood, and as per the DB11, it's a forward opening hood. The whole front cowling of the car opens around the headlights, over the headlights, and then not only do you get this overwhelming sense of wow because it's a V12 engine under there, but you can see the wheels, the tyres. It's like an open wheeler, but beautifully behind that are these 3 or 4 veins of carbon fibre that create that venting from the wheels out the side and through to the back. I mean, it's just a masterpiece. It really is. On the inside, I think they could have saved some weight with all the stitching. Jesus Christ, there's so much stitching in this leather. It's the complete opposite of the Rolls Royce we drove last week. You know, the same amount of power, same amount of dollars essentially, but in a completely sports driven car, and minimalism is not a thing in this car. This stitching is in the roof, it's in the seats, it's in the rear seats, which you'd never use. And then design wise, as per the DB11, this Batman like front screen is dash cluster. It's just crazy to look at, and it's awesome to look at too. Beautiful full LCD screens, the whole lot. No head-up display. Not really an issue. Who gives a rat's, although right now as I swing through these corners, it might be nice to have something like that. But here's my thing. I drove the DB11 3 years ago, January 2017, and I noted at the time that the Mercedes infotainment system was a wonderful integration, but a rubbish system. And I noted at the time at EFTM.com, no Apple CarPlay or Android Auto. Holy crap, it's 2020 and they don't have Android Auto or Apple CarPlay. I'm trying to work this stupid system out using a touch panel down here. It's awful. It's awful. That's why Mercedes went to MBUX. They found a better way. Aston Martin need to do something and invest in buying someone else's system. Or frankly, I'd just make it only work with Apple CarPlay and Android Auto. Who doesn't have that? Especially when you've got $600,000 to spend on a car. Look, that's a massive criticism of a sports car that, you know, I'll be honest, I didn't even really care too much because I didn't use it that much. But it is a weird oversight for something that's this expensive. Push button controls for the gears, great carbon fibre paddle shifters here to get you through all the twisty bits, and it's a beautiful piece of engineering. Goes like the clappers, feels stuck to the road, and looks Aston Martin DBS Superleggera. Let me wind the window down so you can experience a bit of sound. With the mic that I'm using, you'll probably hear a lot of the exterior of the, I guess, ambient sound, but let's just see with you. Sound is pretty darn sweet. By the way, this much power in the wet, scary AF. Ugh. Yeah, this is too much power. Said no one ever. Now you're thinking, Trev, it's raining. How are you going to cope with that? No dramas. There's an Aston Martin branded umbrella optioned in the car that's in the boot.